Hey everyone, Ben Williamson from InvestorHub here at the Ignite Summit in Hong Kong. I'm here with Nigel Broomham. Hey Nigel, how you going?
G'day, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no worries. How are you enjoying it?
It's great, mate. My first time to Hong Kong, and my first time in a sort of an Asian-focused market. So I've been really enjoying the engagement so far.
Okay,
so it's been really good.
Fantastic. I guess for people at home, tell us a bit more about the business.
Yeah, Battery Age, we are a diversified mineral explorer with a very unique portfolio of assets.
Yep.
Sitting perfectly between the intersections of three mega trends, that being the energy transition, the future AI, quantum computing, and thirdly, the precious metals, seeing the absolute buoyancy in the gold and silver price.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes to the risk-off profile, and we're seeing a lot of investments flooding into that market. So between those three prong attached, we're perfectly placed there to capitalise on the upswing of all three of those.
It seems like there's a few things for people to get excited about. What are people's reactions?
Yeah, there's a lot of interest in. We have a very unique project in Austria called the Bleiberg project. Historical lead zinc operation, but we became very interested in it for the germanium potential. And in fact, at the time of its closure, was one of the largest producers of germanium concentrate globally.
Wow.
What is germanium? That's
probably a good question.
It's an elite semiconductor. So when it comes to anything that requires high processing capabilities, whether it be the automotive industry, AI, quantum computing, military spec, etc., the germanium chip reigns king. So it's an elite semiconductor used in all the NVIDIA's 5UM chips, semiconductor wafers, etc. So it really is a future-facing strategic metal, which China dominate the space for producing 99.8% of new metal units, and they've imposed sanctions on this metal, just like they have with antimony and gallium.
Yeah.
And we believe there's plenty of value in this project.
And I've heard Austria is a really good jurisdiction to work from. Can you tell us a bit more about like operating or exploring in Austria, especially for people who might be more familiar with an Australian context?
Yeah, of course. I think there's a misconception there that it's obviously not a mining region, but I think people forget that mining essentially was invented through these areas of the Alps. So the area was, as I said, mined for over 700 years. Huge historic mining history, and yet, much like anywhere in the world, there's a process there to follow as regards to permitting, and it's outlined very well. So we've been working there for 2 years now, and just about to receive our maiden drill permit to go drill our maiden drill program. So very excited. Fantastic.
Well, I was about to ask, say someone's done their research, they're interested, they're excited, and they're thinking about when to invest. What would be a good reason for them to invest now rather than say wait 6 or 12 months?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty simple answer in that regards. If you look at our current share price, we're valued at somewhere between $7 to $8 million market cap. When taking into consideration our cash position, and we have a very significant investment in a company called Equinox Resources, which valued about $4 million, which means we're trading at shell value. So when you take into consideration our portfolio of assets, how high quality they are, the work that we've done already, the drilling results we've produced in our lithium projects, I think when you take this all into account, it's an absolute bargain, and there's plenty of upside for the stock.
And I guess talking to investors here over the last, yesterday and this morning, what's their response been like?
Yeah, it's super positive. Obviously a lot of interest in the germanium project, but also in the project that we acquired in January. So we entered in a binding earning agreement with a group of Fredonia Mining for a very high grade, large scale gold and silver asset in Argentina, Santa Cruz province. So I've just returned from site there. I flew into Hong Kong 2 nights ago from Argentina.
How long's that flight?
It was about 35 hours of flying to get here. Had to save some money, right, to make sure it gets in the ground. So I took the long way around. But yeah, just super impressed with the scale of that project. We've got grades on surface at 174 grams a tonne gold, over 4,700 grams a tonne silver, and on kilometre scale surface expression. So we are
definitely going to get some people excited.
Yeah, people are excited about this asset, and so and we can't wait to go drill it and prove up a scalable operation, hopefully.
Awesome. So if people out there, obviously you're meeting people today. This is it's a conference to meet directly with sort of larger investors, institutionals, family offices, that sort of thing. If there's people at home that want to get in touch and ask any questions, what's the best way they could do that?
Yeah, there's plenty of ways to reach out to us. Obviously through our website and our socials is a good way to reach out to us. That will all come through to myself.
Great.
We run a very lean team, but I make sure that we get back to those inquiries.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Nigel, and thanks for coming in.
Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks.